Christmas is pretty much right around the corner and shopping is about to start in full force, and as always, some of the most popular gifts are LEGO Star Wars sets. So today I want to go over what I think is the best LEGO Star Wars set at every price point, from $10 all the way to $850. And wasting no time, starting off with sets in the price range of $10 to $15, I of course have 75391 Captain Rex Y-Wing Microfighter. As we all know, in this day and age, there really aren't many sets that fall under $20 anymore, so I didn't really have much to choose from. But I think out of all the microfighters that are out right now, Captain Rex's is obviously the best one. The build isn't anything special, but the main highlight is obviously that Captain Rex minifigure. It's not as good as it could be, but that's definitely a topic for a different video that I've already talked about multiple times. So just know, if you want a very cheap set under $20, this is the one to go with. Next up, we have sets at the price of $20, and I have 75373 Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack. Now, some of you might think there's other battle packs out there right now that are better, like the 332nd or the 501st maybe, but in my opinion, this is the current best battle pack or $20 set that's out right now. First off, the minifigures are great. You get those awesome Imperial Commandos, which we've all been wanting for a long time, and you also get some very solid looking Mandalorian figures. But my favorite part about it is definitely the build. Unlike other battle pack builds, this one is actually pretty dynamic with the minifigures. You can fit the Mandalorians inside of it, and then there's also this really cool feature where this transparent piece sticks up and you can attach one of the commandos to it and make it look like he's actually flying, which makes for awesome display. So if you're looking for a $20 set, in my opinion, this is the best one. Anyways though, next up we have $30, and without a doubt the best $30 set right now, probably the best $30 set ever, is 75372 Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Battle Pack. This one's a no-brainer. I mean, I don't have to talk about it for very long, but in short, you're basically getting the value of two separate battle packs for $10 less than what it should be, because as we know, battle packs retail for $20, so two battle packs should be $40, but no, this is only $30, so you're getting an awesome value for your money, and it's a great army builder. You get 5 battle droids, 3 super battle droids, 2 normal battle droids, as well as 4 clone troopers, and some pretty awesome builds as well, like that tri-droid. So again, without a doubt, this is the best $30 set out right now, and probably the best $30 set ever made. Next up, we have $40, and in my opinion, the best $40 set that's out right now is 75388 Jedi Bob's Starfighter. Now, you guys know I do personally think this set is a bit overrated. That's mainly just because of Jedi Bob, though. I think him as a character is just overhyped, but the Starfighter itself is actually really solid. I love the color scheme. I love the design of it with the big engines and the big cannons on the side. It really does look pretty unique and cool. Although again, I think it's just slightly overrated, but there really weren't many other $40 sets to choose from. Anyways though, next up we have sets that fall in the price range of $50 to $55, and there are two very great sets at this price point. In my opinion, the best one is 75377 Invisible Hand. As you guys know, I love mini scale sets. I love display sets in general because they're highly detailed models and they're very appealing to look at, and they make your display look awesome. And I mean, it's the Invisible Hand. It's the first time we got this in LEGO form, so there's a lot of hype around this set right now. But for the people that don't necessarily like display sets and want more minifigures, the obvious choice for that is 75387 Boarding the Tantive 4. In this set, you're getting 7 minifigures for $55, which is an insane deal for what LEGO Star Wars is today. The set also has some pretty cool play features and includes that 25th Anniversary 5's minifigure. So if you want more minifigures, this set is the obvious choice, but if you want a nice display piece, I think the Invisible Hand is the better of the two. Next up, we have sets in the price range of $60 to $65, and in my opinion, the best one is 75347 TIE Bomber. An argument definitely could be made for the Mandalorians and one Starfighter, but the TIE Bomber is going to take the cake for me. It's just a very solid set. They did a wonderful job on the TIE Bomber itself. The minifigures really aren't much. I guess Darth Vader is a notable one, even though he's in a lot of other sets, but the build easily makes up for it. Again, I just think it's really solid. LEGO did a great job. Anyways though, next up we have sets at the price point of $70, and without a doubt, the best $70 set is 75356 Executor's Super Star Destroyer. I think most people consider this to be the best midi-scale set LEGO has made, and I mean, I think it's pretty obvious why. It's extremely detailed, it's a perfect display piece, and not to mention, it's the only midi-scale set that actually feels like it's not overpriced. All the other ones, even including the Invisible Hand, feel like they're just a tad bit overpriced, but I think this one actually looks and feels like it's worth $70. Anyways though, next up we have sets in the price range of $80 to $85, and in my opinion, the best set in this price range is actually another midi-scale set, that being 75375 Millennium Falcon. I think this midi-scale set is right up there with the Executor Super Star Destroyer. As a matter of fact, I think the build itself is actually better than the Executor. I know that's not a very popular opinion, I'm kind of in the minority on that, but in terms of just builds alone, I think this Millennium Falcon is slightly better. It's just a bit of a more compact and detailed and beefier build, which I really enjoy. I think it looks great, and I have had a great time putting it together when I first got it. Although in terms of overall set, including the price point, I think this is a bit overpriced. Like I said, the Executor is probably the only mini skill set that actually feels like it's worth its price point, and this Falcon does not feel like it's worth its price point. Despite how good the build is, $85 is a bit too much, although compared to the other $80 or $85 sets, it's easily the best one. Anyways though, jumping straight from $80 to $100, without a doubt the best $100 set is 75352, the Emperor's Throne Room Diorama. And in my head, this is without a doubt the best diorama LEGO has made. I mean, it's just really impressive, honestly. The curvature and shaping they were able to pull off is super detailed and awesome looking. And not to mention, you can make countless different scenes of the final duel between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker in episode 6, which makes it even better. So if you're looking for a $100 set or just a diorama in general, I think this is easily the set to go with. Anyways though, next up we have $110, and this one is going to go to 75364 New Republic E-Wing versus Shin Hati's Starfighter. And sadly, I don't really see people talking about this set anymore. It was initially very hyped up when it came out back in September of 2023, and I think since then people have just kind of slowly forgotten about it, but I think it's great. Do not sleep on this set. Those two Starfighters are absolutely awesome. The E-Wing is the fan favorite because it's a very old Star Wars vehicle that finally got made in LEGO and looks great, but I personally like Shin Hati's Starfighter. I love the color scheme on it. The red and yellow is just super vibrant, and I also really like how the inspiration for it clearly came from some sort of older airplane. So again, if you want to buy a set for $110, or if you just want some super awesome Starfighters, this is one to go with. Next up, we have sets at the price point of $140, and in my opinion, the best $140 set is easily 75398 C-3PO. Now yes, this is clearly more of a display set that's meant for adults. If you want a play set, the better set to go with is 75354 Coruscant Guard Gunship, which is a decent set. However, I think overall C-3PO is just leagues better. First of all, it feels like it's actually up to standard with a set of this price point, and second of all, it is to scale with the $100 R2-D2 that came out in March. It's also just a very fun set. It was extremely fun to build. It's got so many awesome techniques. The way they were able to pull off just the look that C-3PO has is really impressive to me, at least. So again, I think this is the best $140 set by a long shot, but if you want more of a play set, the Coruscant Guard Gunship's what you need to go for. Jumping straight from $140 to $160, this was the hardest price point for me to decide on in this list, so I had to call a tie between 75394 Imperial Star Destroyer and 75357 Ghost and Phantom 2. Both of these sets are pretty much perfect, and I just could not decide on which one I thought was better. The Star Destroyer is extremely detailed, the best Star Destroyer LEGO has made, well, playset Star Destroyer LEGO has made by a long shot, and it's also got 7 minifigures, the most notable one being that 25th anniversary Cal Kestis figure. But then the Ghost, on the other hand, is also extremely detailed and the best playset Ghost LEGO has made. Its ship design might not be as cool as the Star Destroyer, however, I really like its color scheme. The white and red and yellow just is super vibrant and bright compared to most gray LEGO Star Wars sets. So again, I just could not decide between these two sets. They are both pretty much perfect playsets, and I just had to draw a tie. Anyways though, next up we have $170, and there's currently only one set that retails for $170, and it's not a very popular set, that being 75365 Yavin 4 Rebel Base. A lot of people don't like this thing, mainly just because it's overpriced. There's also some areas of it that look a bit childish, mainly that tree on the right side that just looks super goofy, but I have to say, I do think this set gets too much hate. The temple itself is a great display piece. It looks great like up on the top shelf or something, and you also get 12 super awesome minifigures. So again, this set isn't popular, and for good reason. It's pretty overpriced, but if you can find it on sale, I do it to say you get awesome minifigures, and the build is a nice display piece. Next up, we have $180, and there's also only one set that retails for $180, and that is 75389 the Dark Falcon. And as many of you know, this set is pretty insane. I'd say for a playset, it's right up there with the Ghost and the Star Destroyer that I just talked about. The Falcon is massive, it looks awesome, it's super detailed, and the black and the dark red look really cool together. And on top of that, it has one of the most bizarre and unique minifigure lineup in any LEGO Star Wars set ever made, with a white Darth Vader, Darth Jar Jar, an evil C-3PO, and evil Rey. It's really one of the most outlandish and crazy playsets LEGO has ever given us, and I'm all for it. I think this set is awesome. So if you want to spend up to $180 on a playset, this thing is a great option. Next up, we have a bit of a tricky price point, that being $200, and there's only one set that currently retails for $200, and it's not a very popular set, and I honestly was just debating to leave this off the list, but I decided not to, and the only current $200 set right now is 75371 Chewbacca. This is definitely definitely a set for the die-hard Star Wars fans. I don't think your average fan is really gonna be interested in this. I like the set. I think everything besides its goofy face actually surprisingly looks really good. The fur is very well done and super detailed. It is unfortunately super tedious to build though, but it's just not a super popular set. I don't think many people are interested in this besides the die-hard Star Wars fans that just want a buildable Chewbacca. But if you want a cool buildable character and want to spend up to $200, I mean, hey, here you have it. Next up, we have $240, and this is the price point of all of the base May 1st UCS sets. And in my opinion, the best one is 75382 TIE Interceptor. You could definitely make a good argument for the X-Wing, however, I think the TIE Interceptor is just a bit better. It's an awesome display piece and a perfect entry-level UCS set, as in if you've never gotten one before and you want to get into them, I think this is a great one to start with. There are a few slight issues I have with the cockpit area, mainly just the fact that it's a bit lumpy around there because they tried a crazy technique to pull off the cockpit, and I definitely appreciate them trying new things and it does look decent. I just think it looks a bit awkward, but other than the slight cockpit nitpicks, I think it's a great model and an awesome display piece. Anyways though, now we're getting into the really big sets, and honestly, I think if you're someone that's gonna spend $500 plus on a LEGO Star Wars set, you already have your mind made up on what set you're gonna get. However, I'm still gonna point out which ones I think are best. So next up, we have the price range of $500 to $650. There's only 3 sets in this category, that being the UCS Sail Barge, the UCS Venator, and the UCS Razor Crest. And I personally think the best one out of these 3 is the Venator. The Razor Crest is right behind it. I mean, that's a beautiful set as well, but man, the Venator is just top tier. This thing is incredible. It's by far my favorite set in my collection. I honestly just cannot get over how good it looks and how detailed it is. I mean, I've had this thing for a year and it still feels brand new to me just because I like it that much. Although it is strictly a display piece with no functionality, if you want more minifigures and want a nice detailed interior, I would go with the Razor Crest. And if you want a massive menacing display piece, I'd go with the Venator. So really these 2 sets are the best in this category in my opinion. Honestly, just anything but the Sail Barge. I know these 2 sets cost $150 more, but trust me, you will feel more satisfied with one of these 2 than you will with the Sail Barge. Anyways though, now moving on to our final category, that being the most expensive LEGO Star Wars sets and just LEGO sets in general, being $850. There are only 2 sets at this price point, that being 75313 AT-AT and 75192 Millennium Falcon. And to me, the obvious choice between these 2 sets is the AT-AT. I know the Millennium Falcon is a fan favorite and it's arguably got a better interior, however, I just think the AT-AT is a cooler ship or vehicle, I guess. It's perfectly minifigure scale and you actually do get quite a few minifigures to put on the inside, and it's also just an insane display piece, an item to have in your collection. So again, out of these 2 sets, I think the AT-AT is the better option, but hey, if you want a starship, go with the Millennium Falcon. Anyways guys, that's gonna do it for this video. The reason I made it is because I'm always getting questions about like, hey, what LEGO Star Wars set should I get for $200 or $150, etc, etc. So I decided to just put all my thoughts into one video for you guys. Anyways though, let me know what you think about my picks down in the comments below. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can see them on the screen right now.